Live from Cabot, Arkansas. This is Ramsey Coach with your host, Coach Steve Money. And to give my plugs, let's see, I'm Coach Steve Money, and I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. And you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation / assessment at calendly.com/Coach Steve Money. You can email about coaching or anything on my YouTube channel at CoachSteveMoney@gmail.com. Channel donations can go to paypal.me/Coach Steve Money. You can have me on the gram at Coach Steve Money. Of course, this YouTube channel is youtube.com/Coach Steve Money. And the beauty of the live broadcast here, guess what I forgot to do? No, I don't have dementia. I forgot to turn on my other TV, turn on my other computer. So that I can see the chat. So we'll see if anybody chats. This is an unannounced stream, so sometimes I pre-record it, but decided to just do this one live. Waiting for that to come on. Okay. Apologize for the unprofessionalness. Go to my channel. Oh, no, don't have to go to my channel. It's already there. Just make sure we got. There we go. We got the. Let's mute that. Okay. Alrighty. Now I can see the chat. So if anybody chats and ask questions, I can. See that. Not expecting anybody, but you never know. Some friends may see it and come on, or somebody else may see it. Since I believe I've part of the title is live financial advice. So what we do on this, we go to reddit.com/r/Dave Ramsey, and we sort by new. Now, again, I say this every time. This is not run by Ramsey Solutions. Dave has nothing to do with this. This is just Ramsey fans. It's run by Ramsey fans, and they were nice enough to let me put my link to my Baby Steps song on here. Let me get this on here. And you just scroll down to the music playlist and you can see my Ramsey adjacent songs, including the Baby Step song right there. And I do put the lyrics on there. John Deloney song followed that one up. I emailed the mods of the subreddit and asked them if I could put that one on there. And I did not hear from them on that, so I just let that one lie. That's me reacting to John Deloney's reaction to hearing the John Deloney song, and of course the Rachel Cruz song. And I guess that's why we all watch Rachel Cruz, because I don't want just Britney and Dua Lipa ripping off Elton John. I'm gonna do it too. So that's the dealio on this. So they do allow like negative things. They allow you to give your opinion if you don't, and also post advice contrary to what Dave Ramsey would advise. But I'm going to just give you what Dave Ramsey would advise to the best of my trained ability. Alrighty, let's go for its responsible scheme 964. Hello all. So financials broken down, looking for advice about what to do. Married, 22 years old, just a baby. 3 kids, single income of 150 to 200K a year. That's quite a range. 27% goes into retirement account. If you are not, if you are still paying for a house, 15% is max. Let's see, 27% goes into my retirement account. In addition to my wages, pension is about $30 accredited year. Okay, about 80K in equity in my house, 100K in my retirement account currently. So that's the rundown of my finances. At 22 years old, 3 kids already at 22 years old. That's huge, but 22 years old, you still got a long time to save for retirement. So let's see what this says. Yeah, let's see. Monthly mortgage is $12.50 a month, 2.5% interest. Truck payment is about, okay, the advice is going to be to follow the baby steps. And yes, I didn't get that on here. Dave Ramsey baby steps, and there it is right there. Okay, so he's asking about retirement, which is baby step 4, invest 15%. See, it says only 15%. And once you get past 6, pay your home off early, then you can put as much as you want into retirement. But the idea of only doing 15% at baby step 4 means that you are putting a sizable amount towards kids' college if you plan to save for that, and paying that house off early, because it's all about lessening your risk and having that financial peace. So you probably got $1,000. This person probably has $1,000 emergency fund already, but the baby step 2 is pay off all debt except the house using the debt snowball. That means you go smallest debt to largest debt, and pay off all debt would mean that truck. And it's smallest to largest, not percentage rate. Percentage rate doesn't matter with anything regarding Ramsey stuff. Let's see. Okay, so truck payment is $600 a month. That's a lot. I'm kind of worried I should be putting more money into my retirement account at 22 years old. Unless that was a typo, and that's 52. Let's see. Or investing in something else. No, retirement account, mutual funds, and real estate that you buy completely in cash. If you want to be a landlord, those are the only 2 investments Dave Ramsey recommends. What's everyone's thoughts? My union member mentions, #mentions, every meeting about putting additional money in the account if we want. Some of my coworkers put additional 10% in. Crazy. Is there really a point? Thanks everyone for the negative comments. I really don't understand the genuine hate I'm getting right now. I wonder what the deal is. My whole question is basically, is there such a thing as too much money saved into retirement? Yes, when your house is not paid off. No idea why this is so controversial. I'm asking because a lot of my coworkers were telling me to add an additional 10% into the account. If all your coworkers told you to jump off a bridge, would you? Let's see, 142 comments. Oh my gosh, that's so many. So many. And in just 4 hours ago too. Let's see, that is more, but you're saving more than enough. Yeah, at your age. Let's see if anybody else, can't do any less because the contractor pays it in addition to my wage. Oh, all right. Well, if you can't get out of that, I guess you have to do that. But that doesn't explain the truck payment. So you can either follow Dave's advice, which is this, or you can do it your way. Either way, that's a good income this person has. And you never know, anything on the internet could be a troll post. We just don't know. So these, I treat it like it's real and just answer the question, because somebody could have that exact situation or that question, or they could be doing it wrong themselves and want to be doing it as Dave Ramsey suggests. Now, it's your money, you can do whatever you want to, but the Ramsey baby steps have the track record. There are millions of documented success stories following his steps. Any other plan that you get, say from your coworkers or your friends, or something you heard from somewhere, from not a reliable source, that's not good. That's not good enough for me. But it's your money. You're making the money. You can do whatever you want with it. Dave just has developed this plan to mitigate risk and to keep you set in retirement. All right, so apparently they gave him, they might think it's because of his age, because he's just 22 years old, but, if you're getting that much bank, great. And if you can't get out of it, I don't know exactly how that works, why you can't put less than 27%. But if you can do that and your house is still, does it even have a house? Did he say mortgage? I can't remember. Let's see if there's mortgage. No, there's nothing about mortgage in there. So maybe if he's renting, great. But if there is a mortgage, then definitely the truck, pay that off as soon as possible. Oh, monthly mortgage $12.50 a month. Okay. And so $12.50 a month. The 150 to 200K a year will handle that, no problem. But yeah, so you want to do the baby steps here. You would pay off that truck. You don't say how much is in regular savings, I don't think, but I'm assuming you have at least $1,000. So do that. Pay off the truck. Build up the emergency fund to be 3 to 6 months of your personal expenses. A lot of people ask about that, about how much is that? How much should I have in that? It's 3 to 6 months of your personal expenses. If you have no life drama, if you have no job drama, no indication you would be losing your job anytime soon, 3 months is fine. If you sleep better with 4 months, that's fine too. Or if you want to do 6 months. Dave doesn't recommend doing more than 6 months, so you can get the rest of the baby steps knocked out quicker. Baby step 4, 15% of household income in retirement. Kids, college, if you want to help them with it, if you have children. Dave doesn't recommend setting aside money for that until you have kids. And then the baby step 6, of course, pay off the home early, and that's as soon as possible. It doesn't matter what the interest here or interest there or interest anywhere is. You just want to pay that house earlier if you are going to take Dave's wonderful advice. Alrighty, 20 years old, starting new job. Baby's writing in today. This from Greenhorn 18. Currently on baby step 3B, which that is not in this list. Baby step 3B comes between 3 and 4, and baby step 3B is after you get the fully funded emergency fund. Baby step 3B is to save for a down payment for a house. And if you have a mortgage already, and you're not in a situation where you have to sell the house because you bought too much house, and the payments are killing you, then in that case I got distracted. What was I talking about? Down payment. If you already have a mortgage when you start the baby steps, you do not necessarily have to sell it. And so you keep it and you keep paying the minimum on the mortgage every month while you pay off non-house debt first, and then fully funded emergency fund, and then baby steps 4, 5, and 6 are in order all at the same time. Baby steps 1, 2, and 3 are in order one at a time. There was a guy in the Ramsey Show chat one time that was doing all 6 baby steps, other than baby step 7, build wealth and give, which means you're done. and except for step 4, which goes on forever, you always invest. But the guy in the Ramsey Show chat was doing all the first 6 at the same time. And that's not doing it correctly. Okay, so yeah, currently in baby step 3, be saving for a home, living with parents, 20 years old, starting a new job, what to do for a car. I have a 10K emergency fund, okay, 5K in checking, 3K in retirement. I currently own a 2015 F-150 that I paid 19K cash for in 2020. Right now, I could get 20K or so for it. That's Kelly Blue Book value. You want to buy and sell privately. To go to a dealer, if you are selling a car, they will give you the least amount possible for it. And if you are buying, they are going to charge you the most for it, even for a used car. You want to buy and sell in the private marketplace. So what is wrong? The question comes, what is wrong with the 2015 F-150? If it's worth 20K, that means it's still running and so forth. Let's say, oh, starting a new job in construction in a few weeks that will require me to put on 40K additional miles per year, starting salary at 70K gross. Considering these options, keep the truck for 10 plus years, I think they mean. Buy a cheap beater around 3K to 5K to destroy instead, and replace it every few years. Yes, that is the answer. Sell the truck, pay 5K for a commuter to destroy and pocket the rest. You could do that as well, but since you already have the truck, you might want to keep that. That way you don't have to buy another one later. You just buy one to destroy, as you were saying. Sell the truck, buy an inexpensive truck and decent car to commute and pocket the remainder. Yeah, I mean, if you can do that, that's fine. If you can get 2 cars for what you can make on that truck, then yeah, you can do that too. That's fine. The F-150 is my dream truck. Keep it then. But I don't want to put 150K miles on it, right? Only a few years effectively destroying. Right, so just save up. Let's see. You got 5K in checking. Yeah, just get some kind of car to drive. Is that just to commute back and forth to work, or is that 40,000 additional miles per year? That's a lot of miles. Is that just two different job sites, or what? I guess it doesn't matter. If you know it's going to be 40K, it's going to be 40K miles. All right, truck really comes in handy. Fishing, hunting. Well, if you want it, you pay cash for it, you can keep it. I know I can make do without it, though. I feel like I would be effectively destroying a 20K vehicle when I could destroy a cheaper car instead. Sure, you can buy a cheaper car to do that with. And you can do that with your 5K in checking, the 3K in retirement. Don't put any more in there until you get the car situation figured out. And then after that, you can stop putting money in retirement completely for 3 years while you save up a bigger down payment. One time, but you're doing a lot better than most people, and as the other person was, they just had vehicle debt. Alrighty, this was baby step 4 through 6. Pumpkin 549 George and Jade on the pod today. This is going to be a good afternoon. It's all in the title. Sure. Yeah, that was George and Jade were on yesterday, which was Friday, the 20th, I think. Today's 21st. Is that right? Check the old phone here. Friday the 21st. Today's 22nd, Saturday. On the East Coast, it's already Sunday morning. Okay, so said it's going to be a good afternoon. George and John had been the default Friday hosts. Dave Ramsey is normally off. The only time in the past 3 or 4 years that he has been on the Ramsey Show on Fridays was the week before his last book, Baby Steps Millionaires, came out, and the week after that. But other than that, he is not on Fridays. But George and Jade now do seem to be the co-hosts that are on the most overall. Not just together. Let's see. This is from D9 Cody. Dang, Baker Street with live audience. It's hard. Happy for Dave and company to get the event center done and now have this option. Yeah, they had the Smart Conference in there the previous weekend. So not yesterday, but 2 Fridays ago, they had the Ramsey Show live for the first time in about 3 years. They had it live from the new event center, and they did rotating co-hosts, different co-hosts each of the 3 hours of the live radio show. The video has been edited and delayed. The commercials edited out and delayed for 3 years now. There has been no live video, and this has been the only one, and that you can see in the Ramsey Show full episodes channel. That one is on there, not this past Friday, yesterday, but the one before that, and so you can still see that with the live audience. They did a little bit different format with the rotating co-hosts, and they also took questions from the audience, including something that gets asked about a lot. Somebody concerned that $1,000 is not enough for your starter emergency fund because of, and it doesn't matter, this 4 years ago, 10 years ago, even on the radio show, people were already asking about that, saying it, and so, but now all of a sudden they're using the because of inflation, because of this, because of that on the news, and they say, well, that's not enough. And Dave, of course, says it's not supposed to be enough. It wasn't enough 35 years ago either. It's supposed to give you a little bit of savings so that you can take care of emergencies without having to put it on a credit card again. It's not supposed to be a big chunk of money to make you feel comfortable about anything. You're not supposed to be comfortable. You're supposed to be uncomfortable so that you pay that freaking debt off as quickly as possible. Alrighty, let's see. I did this on, I think that was, yesterday morning. I did a live stream, what I call the Ramsey Show pre-show chat, and that is because the mod had not posted the Ramsey Show for the day. So I do that to just give my friends a chance to place the chat on the YouTube. And while they did that, I just did this type of thing again, this commenting and answering questions and commenting on stuff that's on here. And so as you can see, the light blue, that means I already clicked on it. So these are all the ones I've already done. This one, I don't remember seeing this one. I don't know why, because if I did that one, maybe I accidentally, as the kids say, on accident incorrectly. It's by accident. You don't just go the opposite of on purpose and say on accident. Let's see. The first person I heard say on accident, I believe, was Chris Pratt on an episode of Parks and Rec, and I didn't appreciate it then. Don't appreciate it now. Alrighty, let's see. I plan on who's this? Watercress Chance 229. I plan on apportioning. Interesting. Word. I don't know if that's a real word or not. Probably. Half of my monthly budget towards debt. Okay, great. About 40, not really the way you do the, I guess it's kind of the way you do the budget. You budget for all your expenses and then you take whatever's left and put that to the debt. But, you know, if it works out that that's your last expense and you put everything on there, and then you send that to the debt, I guess that's all right. 45 towards rent. 40%, what does that mean? About 45 towards rent. Okay, that is a bit too much rent. Housing should be 25% of your income. Living expenses 5%. Yeah, is this a good budget and is it sustainable for 3 years? 45 is a lot. You might want to see about trying to get a better job, making more money, or work part-time or something so you can get that debt handled so you can buy a house. If that's your plan, you can rent forever if you want to, up to you. 45% is a lot. No comments on here either. I wonder if it was hidden or something. Weird to see one that has 0 comments on it. As you can see, these are, let's see, apps. Yeah. I did these. Some of these are not in light blue, meaning, oh, some of them I might not, like this one I might not have opened it because it looks like the entire question is there. Okay. Pay free screens beyond income. Oh, that means if they, like, it's more money income than they would have earned, so that means they sold stuff or did other things in order to pay off that debt. Boom, 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 boom. Best party. Did all these. Yep, this is the, for those that keep saying $1,000 isn't enough for emergency fund. This is probably the link to that live Ramsey show video, and that's where he says exactly what I said he says. I did all these before. I should have opened this ahead of time. What would Dave say? I don't think I did this one. Let's see. First off, I'm not situated in USA. So far in, does that mean I don't live in the USA? But I came across Dave Ramsey and I like his thoughts on money. I like them too. They're pretty cool. So here's my situation. 38 years old, wife is a homemaker. Have no kids. Okay, we would love a kid or two, but it just doesn't happen for us to make about $200K a year right now, bags. But this has been the case for only 3 months now. Before this, I made $140K, 0 debt, excellent, no mortgage, and no need to get a mortgage as parents have several properties in my home country that my brother and I will inherit. Give him a break since English was not first language probably, and his English is or her English is way better. His English, I think, is way better than my whatever his language is. Let's see. Brother and I will inherit. Okay. That is probably okay, and maybe there won't be any problems, but if they leave you both with all of them and not say, okay, you get this one to live in it later, if they don't have all that spelled out in a will, there could be problems with it. If your parents leave it to your brother and you and your brother, Almost made a mistake myself. It happens. Um, if they leave it to both of you 50-50, meaning 50% of each house, and you can't, your brother doesn't agree to give you the one you want or anyone, and like in exchange for 50% of another one of the houses, so he has 100% of that one. I mean, that could be in trouble. So that could be trouble. So get that all spelled out in the will. Work with your parents on that. To make sure that happens, so you don't run into that problem later, and then you don't have anywhere to live. Besides, we don't even live in home country for 11 months of the year. Okay, so you're living in a different country, unless you're living in the United States right now, but his home country is elsewhere. I don't know. Let's see. Maybe that will become apparent soon. Immigrant in the country where I work. Okay, so probably not USA. Can only stay here while I am working. It's not a permanent residency situation. If I lose my job, I'd have to find a new one in a few months or leave and go back home. Right? I do have a couple of credit cards. Boop, boop, boop. The cards are used for purchases and are paid 100% when the bill is due. I do not buy something if I'm not able to pay it off when the bill comes, and that's what a lot of people say. But then all of a sudden, if you don't get a check one week or something like that, and then you put it on there, and then you can't pay it, there's a lot of people that plan to do this exact thing, and then for whatever reason they don't, and then before you know it, they got $60,000 of credit card debt. A caller on the show last week did that exact thing. Where I work, at the end of my employment, I will be given a payout. This payout stands at close to $60K right now, and will increase by one monthly salary for every year that I am remained employed by my company. If I switch jobs, I'll receive this money and start over from donut. Health care is mandatory and taken care of by employer. I have no free health care in that country. I basically have to pay $0 if I visit a doctor. This does include pre-existing conditions, etc. All right. Recently, I decided to get my act together. Right now, I've allocated all that I make every month. However, my monthly income, I give about $1,000 equivalent to my parents as spending money back home. Even though they need spending money, they have rental properties. I thought they were rental properties. Are they just sitting vacant? Give about $800 to charity. Currently investing about $5K a month in stocks, ETF. Dave Ramsey does not advise. Single stocks, also index funds. He does not advise either for retirement, because managed mutual funds can beat those. You just may have to look for a bit. You may have to research it, or pay a investing professional to help you out with that. But you can make more than the index will make, even after you subtract the fees associated with managed funds. Let's see, I have about $35K worth invested right now. The partnership in a small business, in which I invested about $40K. So your future housing is wrapped up with your brother, and your small business is wrapped up with another partner. And of course, Dave says the only ship that won't sail is a partnership. And so, because that person can easily start doing crazy things that would negatively affect that business. Let's see. Business generates a little bit of profit, but I'm not taking anything out of business. Okay. I'm like a silent partner and not involved in the day-to-day. Okay. That's still, if you invested money into it, that's still, you're still, for lack of a better word, you're still invested in it. And so, I don't know, man. But like if you're just letting him run it and letting him do whatever, I mean, you could say, let's see, what it doesn't say about 40K. So if you're considering that 40K just gone either way, and you don't care if it makes money, or you're fine with it if the person destroys the business and all your money's gone, then that's fine. So there's a lot of details. A lot probably not needed. Let's see. I'm currently saving about 1,000 to 1,500 a month towards building a savings for something. Oh, the money is to be mainly used towards expenses when I go for my annual vacation back home. Bank account has about 15K right now. Rest is all rent, utilities, food, shopping, etc. Excuse me, getting late. Now my questions. 1, with my situation being the way it is, considering the payout if I lost my job, would I still need to set up an emergency fund? Yeah, you always need an emergency fund, not just one that comes if you lose your job. And also, guess what? If you may lose your job several weeks before that money comes to you. The bureaucracy reigns, and so there could be a lot of red tape in getting that. So there could be a delay after you lose your job. So yes, you need an emergency fund no matter what. I have calculated that I'd need about 30-40K as an emergency fund to stay afloat for about 6 months. Okay, so yeah, so save that up. If yes, should I stop investments and put it towards emergency fund? Yes. Or just put aside a little bit, like reduce. No, not reduce. Stop them. Is the Ramsey advice. You're doing a lot of stuff non-Ramsey, but if you want the Ramsey advice, which I assume since you came to the Dave Ramsey subreddit, even though there are people that will tell you to do non-Dave Ramsey stuff on here, I'm assuming you want to know the Ramsey advice. Let's see, and use what I need during my vacation. I generally need about 10 to 15K during my annual vacation. Okay, vacations go bye-bye too until you have a full emergency fund. That's more important than a vacation. I understand your vacation is back home and you're not working, so basically you need to go there, but you still should have a full emergency fund before you do that. And probably if you quit move doing your money like it's doing now and move it around to where you have that much in an emergency account, that amount that you needed. Also, going back home is your annual vacation, as you call it, even though it may not be a vacation. It may be just going home because you don't have any work to do, and so you just go back to your home country. That's not an emergency. You know that's coming every year, and you know when it's coming. So you just need to save up differently for that. That needs to be outside of your emergency fund. You don't use your emergency fund to do things that you already knew were going to happen well in advance. And 3, been feeling like getting a second car for taking long road trips, camping, etc. This vehicle, if I end up buying it, would be shared with my cousin. You're trying to do everything with everybody. Have it do it yourself. Who generally goes on the trips with me? How would I go about this? Guessing financing is out of the question. You got it, Bubba. So he is familiar with Ramsey. Cool. And what would be an ideal budget for this? To not do that. Why do you need a second car? Why would you need a second car for that? But it doesn't make sense why you would need a second car. I mean, the other person wanted to save the miles on his truck, his F-150, is his dream truck. So he wanted to keep it in nice condition. So that's a reason for wanting to buy a beater to drive to all of his work locations, 40,000 a year miles, 40,000 miles a year. And so he had that reason. Your reason would be what? I mean, if it's the same reason, great, but you pay cash on a used car. And yeah, cars are always in cash. There's no loans for anything except a mortgage for a house you live in. Anything I can improve in what I'm currently doing? Well, I got a great idea. And a lot of people don't like this. A lot of people don't like this because, especially today's society, a bunch of people, this is where the snowflake comes in about, oh, I'm an individual. Oh, my little situation is different. No, this works for everybody. This works for everybody always. This order right here works for everybody always. Your little situation doesn't matter what it is. If you have some kind of emergency, then you pause the baby steps and just pile up cash until the emergency is over. Then you resume the baby steps right where you left off. Let's just see the first couple of no comments on that one either. Some of these might have been maybe I'll put a comment on there. I'm not signed in. Maybe I'll do that later if I can think about it. Yeah, see, that might have been hidden before. Or maybe some reason you don't see it unless you sort by new. I don't know. Don't know. Those light blue ones, that means I've already done them. What to do with savings? This is from 9 comments on this one. Hello all, looking for advice. Hog Nation. Could that be from somebody that is a fan of the Arkansas Razorbacks? Hello all. Looking for advice. I owe about $75K on the house. I have approximately $80K in cash savings. My mortgage is running around 4% at the moment. Doesn't matter. FHA loan, doesn't matter. Wife is recently out of work due to RA. I don't know. And she will most likely not go back. I don't know what the RA means. 52, plan on working until I die, maybe. Handyman, what should I do with my cash? Pay off a big chunk of mortgage. Buy gold, keep it safe. Any advice? I'm open to no metals for Dave Ramsey. Any type of investing, retirement savings, that should be done. And preferably in a tax advantage retirement account. But if that's not possible, because you can even do over the maximum in a Roth IRA with the backdoor Roth account, which is perfectly illegal. I mean legal. Freudian slip there. It's perfectly legal, and if the Congress people and so forth can do it, so can you. Let's see, any advice I'm open to. Basically it's gonna be, you guys did the baby steps. Oh, let's see here so the 80K in cash savings. Okay, you decide what your 3 to 6 months of expenses are. And then have that much in the emergency fund, and that's going to be different than any other savings. Emergency fund is different than any other savings, and so maybe maybe that's 40,000, half of that. Then the other 40 you would run down the baby steps. Now you would invest 15%. So assuming like he has $80,000 in cash in the savings account, so we'll figure half of that, 40,000, is baby step 3, fully funded emergency fund, and then he can do 15% of your household income in retirement. A lot of people think in terms of just throwing a whole bunch of money in the stock market at one time. That is not the plan. The plan is to invest 15%. Meaning you start doing it when you decide to follow these steps. That's when you start putting the money in for retirement, or changing the way you're currently doing retirement to this. And then 15% is the maximum until you get the rest of the baby steps done. Address kid college. If you have kids, they probably have might have grown children by now, if any, and so that might not apply. So if it doesn't apply, you just skip it and you go to pay that home off early, and you do that with any extra cash available. You don't try to I'll just invest some of it and I'll save some more, just keep it in cash. No, you put any extra money into your home. And it's not like a gazelle intense situation like it is in baby step 2 when you're paying off all non-mortgage debt, but you still want to be intentional with your money, and you can budget fun things, put fun things in the budget. That's great. And everything you do plan to spend money on, though, you just have to think about it, when you're writing the budget. Do I want to do this? Do I want to take this trip? Do I want to buy this? Do I want a PlayStation 6, or would I rather put that money on the house and have the house paid off that much earlier? And so that's the dealio. I know there's no PlayStation 6 yet. I was just playing. Meaning, like, you gotta have some people have to have the newest thing right now. But yeah, let's see. Did I say everything I wanted to say about that? Basically, answers baby steps again. The answer's always baby steps. Sometimes, and pretty much all of these have been pretty easy. Sometimes there's a few nuances in it, such as the baby step 3B, or stuff you should have done in the non-existent baby step 0. It's existent in my mind, though, and in a lot of people's minds. And maybe I'll have opportunity to talk about that depending on some of these questions. I have addressed it in previous episodes of Ramsey Coach. Let's see what the president. I mean, the Ramsey way is to kill the mortgage, but key enough. What does that mean? Keep enough an emergency savings account that emergency can't make your hair fall out. Well, you would have the full emergency fund, 3 to 6 months of expenses before you start paying on the mortgage. Forgot words for a second. I took the dementia test on the internets, and I don't have it according to the internets. Nobody in the chat. All my friends are probably sleeping. Oh, let's see. Unasked questions. This is from Foxhound34. Baby step 4 to 6 flare. Again, baby step 1, 2, and 3 are done in order, one at a time. Baby steps 4, 5, and 6 are done in order, all at the same time. And of course, if you do not have children, or your children are adults, you do not do baby step 5. You skip it. I was listening to an episode from late last month where a woman called in because she and her husband left Kentucky to move into Colombia to be near his madre, who proceeded to steal $250K from them. I don't remember this question. When was it? For late last month? She said they then had to move back to Kentucky and sell a bunch of stuff to survive. Okay, husband refuses to prosecute. Oh, maybe I did hear some of this. Sometimes I get wrapped up in the Ramsey Show chat and don't get all the details of stuff, but this is sounding more familiar now. And wants to continually financially supporting her. Boop, 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 doo. I mean, blood is a thing, but at some point, you just have to stop letting even family members cause you harm. And this is where I say paging Dr. Cloud. Dr. Henry Cloud wrote a book called Boundaries. And it sounds like this is what husband needs. Every once in a while, someone will call in and I'm yelling at my radio because the on-air personality completely miss obvious questions. In the case of this call, let's see. Yeah, everybody, a lot of people do think about this. A lot of people want to hear the rest of the story or the spouse's version of the story, and you just don't get that on call-in radio. Every so often, they will a spouse will call in with their spouse right there, and so Dave is able to talk to both of them, and so or whoever the host is, and so. But other than that, we get one side of the story, and we don't ever know what happens after that. Let's see. In this case, where did the money all go, and why does she still need to be supported? Does anyone else have a story? Well, it doesn't matter. They didn't ask because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where all the money went. If he's not going to prosecute, there's no way to get it back. I assume she's not just going to give it back. I assume he's asked, or maybe he didn't. Maybe he's like, well, that's it. So it's gone. Let's see. And why does she still need to be supported? It doesn't matter because he wants to do it anyway. Does anyone have a story of the personalities missing questions that would bring context or clarity to a caller's question or problem? Again, I don't think that matters. I mean, that's just little details in it. The problem is that he doesn't want to prosecute and that he needs serious boundaries and probably to put his wife, his family, his immediate family over his mother that is doing his family harm. And I would say being robbed of $250K, that would be harm. So let's see. Why the woman didn't take any action herself, as going to police herself for the debt, why she hadn't filed for divorce. Those are better questions. Yeah, absolutely. Person suspects money wasn't stolen. My husband is permitting his mother. Right. So that's yeah. Then this is wrong. The personalities do listen, but as I said in this case, that is not the problem. Where the money went is not the problem. Why she needs to be supported is not the problem. The husband has decided to support her for whatever reason, and probably, if the mother already has $250,000 of my money, I would think that will support you for a while, so I don't need to worry about you. But that guy sounds nutty. Alrighty, this from Highwayman1717, lazily attacking my car loan. And I do not see that in the baby steps. Let's see, lazily pay off all debt except the house. And actually, the Ramsey advice is the exact opposite of that. It is to pay off all debt except the house using the debt snowball with gazelle intensity. They even have the video of the lion or tiger or whatever dangerous animal chasing the gazelle, and they did have to look for a long time to find a video where the gazelle gets away. All right, this again I'll read it really quickly. Considering late stage what? What does that mean? Only debt left is 2.9% car loan. Doesn't matter no matter what you said, the percentage on it does not change the price. Car loan that was half paid up front, and my mortgage, which I personally will never pay extra towards. That's doing it wrong. 6-month emergency fund gathering, interest in CDs. That's wrong too, because you can't get money in CDs without a penalty. 20% going towards retirement. That should be 15%. The rest should be on the house, but the person's not going to do that. So again, why even ask for advice? Catch small windfalls, teaching archery, cool, and renting things online for extra cash besides my main job. Interesting. What would you have that you would rent? I get, like a generator or something like that, maybe. I have nothing to save for to own your house. How about that? And I'm realizing while my car loan isn't robbing me, it's definitely keeping me from investing and giving more than I could with a $308 payment each month. Yeah, that's why you buy cars completely in cash. Subaru tend to drive forever and maintain forever. Would have bought used, but there simply wasn't the market in 2021. Market in 2021 does not change the advice. The advice is still buy cars in cash and do not buy a new car unless you are a millionaire, have a net worth of $1 million because of the depreciation, how much the car goes down in value the second you drive it off of the lot. Initial options without cutting into my lifestyle or retirement. Woo! I had a spare $100 to apply to the principal monthly. That by itself is going to shave a year off the loan. Oh, the car loan? If I throw every single cent I make off my side hustle, that's the odd 100 or so each month as well. Yeah, everything left over in my monthly food budgets, utility bills, throw it in. Yes, that's how baby step 2 works. Exactly. A work bonus would go straight to my Roth. That is not how that works. Meanwhile, any freed up money from monthly payments would become firewood as well. What I guess that means if it ends up like electric, like it does other stuff, food budgets, utility, anything, something else in the budget, he's saying a monthly payment. If it ends up being less than budgeted, that would become thrown at the car loan, which isn't really like, I don't know, I guess because you do firewood, you get warmth and light from it, and if you throw it at the loan, that's less money you still have to pay on the loan. So let's see, if things take a hit and I have to default back to standard payments, at least I'll save some money and spent responsibly. I'd love to shave off another year. That might have been correct. What is it when it, like, you start typing the word and it puts it in for you on a phone? I'd love to shave off another year. You can shave off the whole thing. The projected year of money going into index funds after this loan ends early shows this is worth it and would be a profit. I just can't risk my other savings and have to be less of a gazelle and more of a cautious rhino. No, you don't. No, you don't. You have a false sense of reality here, and what it is you're just choosing not to do the Dave advice, but the Dave advice is exactly the same, and this is what you're explaining whatever to do. Throw every single cent I make off side hustles and every single thing that's not spent in the budget and that's what it is. So that's exactly baby step 2 verbatim, and he doesn't say gazelle there, but he does say it down here. So just doesn't want to fully commit to the Dave plan, and again, could be from people thinking they know better, could be from wanting to be an individual and saying, well, it works for everybody else, but I am special. But the more than 15%, he's saying you'll never pay extra towards, and so that's baby step 6, and so that is ever, if you're going to follow Dave's advice. You don't have to. Your money, you can do what you want. U.S. dollar possibly succeeded by one. I don't know how you pronounce that. Is it yen? 14K in Citibank high yield account shall turn into BTC. That's Bitcoin, gold, and silver. Negative Ghost Rider. The pattern is full. No. Didn't you learn your lesson about Bitcoin previously? Did you see how high it was up and then how low it's been since then? The crash? The crypto crash? Didn't learn enough. The S&P 500 index fund, or index rather, not fund, The index makes more money than gold does on an average year. So average overall, S&P 500 makes more than gold does, but some people try to think that gold is safer or whatever. But yeah, if the US dollar collapses, you got more problems than you would imagine. And Bitcoin, gold, and silver will not save you at that point. This is from Meta Soup. Baby step 2 flare there. I don't like to talk about my flare. Can I get some pause reinforcement that getting a 7K car on Facebook Marketplace won't be as bad as I keep thinking? Well, you don't just buy it. Even after doing a test drive on it, you don't just buy it, hand the money over. You want to either, while you're taking a test drive, you take it to a mechanic of your choosing to look over it to make sure that there is nothing major wrong with it. And some car shops will even do that as a free service in hopes of getting your business if there is something that needs to be repaired. And if the alternative is to buy a new car, that again, you don't do that. You're on baby step 2. That means you have other debt, so your cash is all going to be going to that instead of to car payments. You don't add, and then this is what this is where I can talk about baby step 0. Okay, this person thinks they're on baby step 2. Let's read the rest first. Title: basically, I really ought to get out my current car loan and find a hoopty. Get out of my current car loan and find a hoopty. Just know nothing about cars, right? Constantly having to go to the shop or possibly breaking down is nerve-wracking. That could also happen with your new car. However, if I do this and sell my bike, I can be debt-free by the end of the year, albeit with a hoopty, which is pretty exciting reward indeed. That is. So, but what you're missing there is you think you're on baby step 2. So back here, and it's not on the page, but baby step 0 has a number of facets. Let's see if I can remember them all. You make sure you have your 4 walls taken care of. 4 walls are shelter, transportation, clothing, food. And my pal Sid adds internet to that because everything's done on the internet these days. So internet, shelter, food, transportation. Those are your 4 or 5 walls there. What else with that? You decide that you're going to do the steps and that you're going to commit to the steps. And the part in baby step 0 that would be adjacent to baby step 2 is you decide you're not putting on you're not adding any extra debt. You're paying it off. So you're not gonna like try to pay off your debt and then add more debt to it. Everything else is in cash. Then there's loans of any kind, not student loans, not car loans. Nothing is an option. That's not an option. You just take that off the table as an option. You just don't do that. You just find another way to do everything. And of course, the new car rule is from Dave. I just said it a little while ago. Got to be a millionaire net worth. I got to have a net worth of a millionaire. That means net worth of $1 million. So that does include if you own a house or have equity in it. Then if it's a really expensive house, then that could put you closer to $1 million. But until then, you cannot afford to buy a new car. All right, so positive reinforcement. Yeah, having it being debt-free by the end of the year, yes. Being debt-free with a hoopty, You're saying a $7,000 car? Mine was 1750, and I had to get a muffler put on it. I believe that was around 250, I think. So that would be about $2,000 altogether. It was still is. I still have it, no problem. 2005 Suzuki Verona, and it had 80,000 miles on it when I bought it. And that was several years ago. And other than the tailpipe that I had to get put on it right after I bought it, the only other problem I've had with it was it needed new brake lines. And that was just the past year, but that was $800, I think. So that was still way, way lower than 7K. Of course, this was right before the Pandy and such, the circuit board shortages for new cars, so there wasn't many new cars, and so people bought older cars, and so there wasn't as many used cars on the market, and so the prices went up, supply and demand, obviously. But it doesn't have to be a $7,000 car to be decent. But anything you buy, you shouldn't buy it. You should have at least one mechanic check it out for you first. But yeah, it is a great idea to do. Let's see, what time is it? I like running my mouth so much. Let's see. I think I've gone an hour and a half so far. Buying a home, FHA, then pay 20% of the loan off. Oh, I see what he's doing. He's doing scheming and scamming here. Let's see. Basically, if I want to get an FHA mortgage loan, then in a year pay off 20% to get the PMI removed. Besides the interest and PMI I would pay in that year, is there any other difference or cons compared to just putting down 20% from the get-go? The FHA loan, Dave does not recommend. Mortgage payment will be higher if you don't do 20% down. That's because of the PMI. Let's see. This is from Lock Marine. I like this. Baby Step 7 Flare. See, Baby Step 7 has done this stuff. I remember when people wanted to be debt-free and pay off everything. Now people think they can earn money by using debt as a tool. All of that works on paper, but in life, S happens. Job loss, illness, and children can make it impossible to work. Watch all those who are not millionaires downvote me. I'll vote him. But I can't with it because I'm not signed in. Except for utilities, taxes, and insurance. Yeah. FHA just lowered their MIP to 0.55, so it's close to the rate you get with conventional. Yeah, because it's higher. That's why, because it's a higher rate. I think there's also one other reason why he doesn't recommend FHA. I can't remember off the top of my head what it is, though. So, also PMI, while annoying, needs to stop being looked at as the boogeyman. For example, we're currently in the buying process for 100K out. PMI is around $80. Mine was cheaper than that, and my PMI was more than that. So, and we put more than 30% down on that. So, okay. Imagine saving up 80K just to avoid $80 a month. Well, some people do that, but that PMI it seems like very low for 400K, especially, and unless they change the rules a lot since I bought that house. That was 20 years ago, maybe not, maybe 15 years ago. So I don't know what would have changed since then. But anyway, Yes, I mean, you can do this. Dave doesn't say don't do that. Matter of fact, for a first-time home buyer, he is fine with you just putting 10% down. Oh, I see. The FHA mortgage loan, maybe he doesn't have to put anything down. I see. And so that's all. That's why he doesn't like it. That's right. Okay, right. He wants you to have at least 10% down for a first-time home buyer. Hello, governor. Oh, hello, governor. Like hello, governor. Baby step 2. Again, pay off all debt except the house using the debt snowball, which is smallest debt to largest debt in order. 120K salary, 10.8K credit card debt at 27% interest. Crazy. See, if you don't ever get a credit card, you don't ever have the danger of paying 27% interest on something. I hope you like the crap that you bought with that. Around 21K college loan, rent 1850. That's a lot. Currently 401K matching. None of that's advised by Mr. Ramsey. Let's see. Technically, baby step 2 would have me ceasing. Not just technically. It does. It's pretty well spent. You know, Dave doesn't use in his advice, in his list here, in his book, The Total Money Makeover, in all of their books, they don't use fancy language. It's very, very much spelled out. Yes, baby step 2 would have you ceasing 401k contributions until you have the 3 to 6 months emergency fund. That is correct. And so the advice is to do that, no matter what you say in the next sentence. Is this really necessary? I feel like leaving free money on the table isn't the best way to go about this. Yes, it is the best way to go about that. The soonest you get the debt out of your life, you have less risk. As soon as you have the 3 to 6 months emergency fund, that brings about a thing called financial peace starting to happen. And that, of course, is less risk as well. So yes, it is. Yeah, you know Dave's philosophy. Exactly. Baby steps 4, 5, and 6 player here for this. I'm sure somebody will tell him, don't follow Dave's advice the way. It's rare that person would advise anyone, but with that kind of credit card debt, I think you should say, well, how about that? Somebody that sometimes never advises it, but with that kind of credit card debt, and it's not a lot, is it? Yeah, 10.8. Maybe he's concerned about the 27% interest. And then also the 21K student loan on top of that. Yeah, so, you know what anybody do, that is like thinking about following Dave's advice, or even like enough to come to this forum. There's lots of financial forums for you to ask questions on. I'm sure you could go to the I Love Debt forum and they would have all kinds of stuff for you. But if you go to the Dave Ramsey Reddit, you might expect to be told to do the Dave Ramsey plan just like it's written. And that's what I would advise as well. So yeah, you turn down that match and maybe that will give you some more motivation to pay that off quicker. Which is the idea. Not happy with tax layer. Too complicated. You can't check your work. You can't see your return until it's filed. Their website is difficult to log on to. My return was rejected by the IRS and Ramsey didn't contact me. They gave me an incorrect ID number, etc. Too stressful and uncertain to deal with a computer program that doesn't care. Now I have to go to a real accountant to get real-time advice and help fix this. Programs it should. Is TaxSlayer the Ramsey, the free Ramsey tax thing? I don't know. I didn't use that. do my own. Let's see. Being rejected though, yeah, that's and that's 12 days ago. Cutting it close, cutting it too close. 12 days ago was the 11th, which is very close to the tax day. So you definitely don't want to wait that long to do them. Let's see. Too stressful and uncertain to deal with a computer. Okay, so I mean that the program can only work with the information that you put in. So if you answer no to a situation that is actually your situation, but you say you don't have that situation, then it's going to be wrong, obviously. If you have a side hustle or business, the way you put in the additional, declare the additional funds, additional income, so that you pay taxes on it, that's going to be the same thing. It's going to be, I mean, it's not as easy to do that when you have to add that in. So you may add that in correctly, even though it prompts you for the stuff. Perhaps you put it in incorrectly. I mean, I mean, it could be that there's something wrong with the program, or it didn't do something right, or something's a little awkward with it that could be coded better. That's very possible. But also it could be that you just put in bad info, and bad info in, you're gonna get bad info out. So I don't really have any other comments about that. There could be something wrong with it. I don't know, but it could easily be the person using the software's fault. Manual underwrite requires no credit score to only get you back into a credit score. Yeah, when you start paying on your mortgage, you will get a credit score, and that's fine. What's the problem with that? So you need to get an indeterminate score to get a highly rated mortgage along with the history of payment, like mortgage, yep, insurance. However, when you get the mortgage from a manual underwriter, you get a credit score again since you are taking out debt. Then what even is the point of doing manual underwriting? It's if you don't, because you won't have a credit score because you're not interacting with debt before you buy the house. You're not interacting with debt, meaning you don't have any debt, or meaning you paid it all off for long enough where your score goes to indeterminate. And so I don't understand people. Oh, it's Space Flamingo. Yeah, definite troll that has been in the Ramsey chat. Got blocked, banned from there by the mod. Comes back on other names sometimes, but yeah. So, but people just try to pick at the plan and anything. I mean, this is something that doesn't matter. Yeah, you're gonna have a credit score. But it's for the only thing that you should be interacting with a bank for, as far as taking out a loan. Just on the house that you live in is the only loan that you should be taking out. It's the only type of debt you should have. Any the rest of it you shouldn't have. And so it does, the having the credit score or not having the credit score doesn't matter. Just as we always tell everybody when they ask, well, don't I need a credit score? No, you don't, because there's manual underwriting. And so yes, it gives you a credit score, but that doesn't give you a good enough reason to have to worry about your credit score ahead of time. That's the problem. If you just have one, big deal. Doesn't matter if you are out of debt completely and you don't have a credit score, or you do have a credit score. If you don't interact with debt, it's going to start going down, and so that's fine. You don't have to have no credit score before you do manual underwriting. It doesn't have to be, but you can still get a house whether you have a credit score or if you have no credit score. So, and the idea is to not have a credit score because you didn't interact with debt in enough amount of time to where you wouldn't have one anymore, where it would go completely off your credit report, and so then it becomes indeterminate. So missing the point, and that's a normal thing from Space Flamingo. Oh, let's see, Mr. Strawn. I've seen that name before on here as well. Baby Step 2 Flare. Again, that is to pay off all debt except the house using debt snowball, which means smallest to largest. Things for the house during Baby Step 2. The answer is no. No. Let's see if it's something that they actually needs, and that's a thing. Need is a word that people use a lot, and then they will come up with a reason that they think is a good reason, but it's not, and that means we're pulling into justification station. All aboard! Let's see. There are some things such as blinds. Maybe some furniture as well that I would like to get for the house. Do I include these items in the budget? Yes. Or continue to go as long as I can without them? Yes, you can do that too. I know after Baby Step 3 I can make fun purchases. Was just curious about these kind of things. Yeah, you can put blinds in a budget, and so you're looking for something to cover the window and to block out the light. You don't need remote control blinds. You don't need $100 blinds. You can get the cheapest blinds you can get. It will be fine. So yeah, you can do whatever you put in the budget. And of course, you shouldn't be budgeting for stupid stuff during Baby Step 2 when you're trying to pay off debt. That should be your main focus, paying off that debt. And maybe some furniture as well as that. No, you don't need furniture. Almost certainly you don't need one. The only thing would be if maybe a chair breaks and you don't have any other chairs. That kind of thing. But then you can get a cheap chair. Just put it in the budget. Everyone here saying blinds are a want. Sound cuckoo crazy. No, you can put it in the budget. I understand. I don't like the light coming in either. Especially if you're trying to watch something on TV and the light's coming in. I don't like that. Sit in your house with no blinds and bare open windows to pay off a few extra dollars in debt. Paper blinds are like $5 a window. And say, yeah, exactly. You can get the paper kind. I forgot even about the and this said for FPU needs versus wants. Yeah, so I mean blinds a little bit different. If you don't have any blinds, sure you want to get some, and again they can be $5 just like that. I've actually I bought one of those for my son one time, and they were those paper ones, and they worked fine. Nice black ones, and they kept out the sun. He was facing east, I believe, so he had all day. No, I think it was west. I think because it was more light in there at night. So yeah, but you can put stuff like that in the budget. It's the problem when you start talking about the more expensive stuff like furniture. Like if you want to buy, $500 chair, that's different than a $5 blinds. But some people do go overboard. I'll admit that. Not as many as I've been accused of probably, but I've been accused of going overboard myself. But I would even get blinds. But some people do go overboard. And also, just like the post from our lovely Space Flamingo there, some people ask a lot of questions that proves they missed the point entirely. like his question doesn't even matter because it doesn't change the advice that you're wondering about. Why do I have to do this? And when Dave explains it, it's a risk. The idea is not to get a 0 credit score. That's not the idea. The idea is to not have one because you are out of debt and you're not taking on any more debt. And so, and this, I mean, you can buy some cheaper food one week, and then there's your $5 for the blinds for one window, that kind of thing. But $500 couch or something like that, you don't want to do that when you are on baby step 2. You want to pay off the house. I must have done that one before. Hiring like crazy, as much as 50K bonuses to hire on some locations. Okay. I must have clicked on that before, but I don't remember doing that one. He just says there that you can get money for hiring on. I wonder why that would be. The railroads, because they're trying to catch up, doing more shipping than to catch up from the pandy still, maybe. I don't know why they would all of a sudden be hiring a lot. Let's see, autos and audits. Baby step, that's fun. Baby step 2, flare again. Car question, fun or the more responsible option? What do you think? What do you think? Which car should I buy? 23, male, married, based on traditional personal finance rules. 20, 3.8 if using combined income. Okay, I don't know what traditional personal finance rules mean. I don't know what that is. Is that expenses, fund, savings, something like that? I can easily afford either car, but I just purchased a home and have a mortgage payment at about 30% of my gross pay. A little bit more than what they recommend, but in the total money makeover, I believe, is where Dave did say 25 to 35. Obviously, the lower the better. So 30's shouldn't be a killer for this person. Also investing 15%, but I'd like to pay down my mortgage more. No other debt except student loans, which hopefully will go away this summer. Not going to happen. Hold your breath on that, autos and audits. Hold your breath on that. That's not going to happen. However, I'm also a huge car person and really want to upgrade to a BRZ. Tough crap. You're in baby step 2. New BRZ, you can't buy a new car, per Dave's advice, until you have $1 million net worth. So, and again, you seem to think you're on baby step 2. Part of that, before that, baby step 0, which is not on here, is to decide that more debt is not an option. You're paying it off, not adding to it. What good did it do to pay off some if you're just going to add to it again? So let's see the rest of this crap this person said. Responsible option, 14K plus 6.25 tax when registered. Financing form, it should be from. My bank is 12, but I could put down 3K and pay off the loan. So basically, yeah, no loans, not even on the used car. The used car is the way to go, but no loans, cash. Thank y'all for not enabling my poor decision-making thoughts. What I will do now, based on everyone's comments, is keep my SE beater and keep fixing it. Stop retirement for now, save cash for the loans, cash for emergency fund, restart the 15%, then cash, and buy cash flow or save up and buy the BRZ maybe. Probably 1 year or so from now, i.e. just follow Dave's plan instead of rationalizing this. Exactly. Wow, somebody that came to their senses that realized. I'm sure, how many? 37 comments. So I'm sure somebody told him it's okay to get the new car. I'm sure somebody did out of that 37 comments, but apparently enough people told him, that's crap. Are you going to follow Dave's plan or are you going to do what you want to do? Cool. All right. long have I been going? Have I been going? It feels like I'm coming up on 2 hours. Might as well finish that. Got 11 more minutes for 2 hours. I think I should write down or start a timer or something. I should write down the time I started. I think it was about 11 Central. And we're coming up on 1 a.m. Central. Happy Saturday, everybody. Hyperglyph Emery. What would Dave do flare? How much percentage to save for my future apartment while living at parents' home? Future apartment, unless you're buying it, you don't need to save anything. Because you pay month to month for that. You pay rent month to month. And so you wouldn't need to put a down payment on an apartment. Maybe just a deposit you would have to put down. Let's see. So I was just wondering how much to save for my future apartment while still living at parents' home. Read Ramsey's book, been to the course, and I finally saved my emergency money and completed baby step 1. Okay, that's the same thing, emergency baby step 1. However, I'm not really sure how much to save for my future apartment. My mom asked to start saving my savings portion of each check according to Ramsey's paycheck percentage breakdown. However, I'm confused because 50%, according to his paycheck percentage breakdown, is for the 4 walls, which right now for me is just my medical bills, gas, and some food. I try to help her with utilities as well. Okay, I don't know what the Ramsey's paycheck percentage breakdown is, but that is just a guideline, and if you can stay under those amounts, then you can have extra money to apply to other things. So right now, you're paying for medical bills, gas, and some food, and you try to help with utilities. You're on with utilities. That's great. So basically, and depending on how old you are and if you're going to college, let's see, too long didn't read saving for an apartment considering part of my 4 walls. Yeah, because that would be your shelter. But again, you don't really have to save for that, again, unless you're saving for the down payment. Or if you have to, or not down payment, if you're saving for a deposit. Or if you have to put down additional deposit, like for pets, or because you have no renting history or something like that. Can I keep saving more money, 20%, and put it into savings? Okay, so again, you don't have to like stick to exactly those percentages of it. Like the 50%, you don't have to find more expenses just so you can equal the 50%. And so if you don't have 50% of your check in expenses, then you're not going to have that much, and you can't do his expenses. You can look at them for what the max should be. Like savings shouldn't be more, but that's probably savings portion being only 20%. That's probably based on like if you have a home already, maybe if you're investing already, because investing is 15% of your gross. So that might be 20%. So that might be the entire savings portion. But so I don't even remember seeing anything about that. Maybe that's something new. I'm not aware of it. If so, or I just don't remember it. But that's not. You can come in lower all the time. Like you recommend 25% of your net income being for what you should be paying for your shelter, for your mortgage payment, or for your rent. It should be 25% or so. Again, in the total money makeover, I believe it says 25 to 35%. Obviously, lower is better because then you can put more money on the other baby steps. But the other issue here is you don't say how old you are if you're going to college. And if you're going to college, the idea is you just pile up money and you don't progress on the baby steps. You just pile up money and until you get through college. And this includes even if you have a full ride scholarship, you still pile up money until you graduate college debt free. And then what happens to all that money? So you graduate college, you just hold on to that, and you graduate college debt free. And then you graduate college debt free, and then you're like, okay, I'm an adult now, got a big boy job after college. Okay, and I got all this debt now. All this pile of money now. So I'm gonna start the baby steps. Well, then you take all that pile of money and you apply it to. You would already have the $1,000 starter emergency fund. Hopefully, you didn't say anything about debt. Hopefully, you don't have any debt. Hopefully, you don't acquire any debt. Which, if you're following Dave's advice, you would not be acquiring any debt at all. And so then you can skip that one. And then that big pile of money you can apply to your full funded emergency fund. And if it's enough money to cover the whole thing, that's great. Then you can start from your big boy job. You can invest 15% your household income into retirement. If you have kids now, then you could address their savings. The amount per month or per year is up to you. The younger they are, the less it has to be in order to end up being enough for college by the time they're 18. If you're going to help them, some parents don't want to help them, that's fine. And then paying off a house early. But you would, at that point, you would actually be back here between 3 and 4 with baby step 3B, and which would be saving your down payment. And so if maybe you want to buy a house immediately after getting out of college and getting your big boy job, and so you can put whatever you can to the fully funded emergency fund, whatever is in your big pile of money. And again, if it's enough, if you don't have any life drama or you don't think there's going to be any job drama, 3 months is fine. And then the rest of it you can allocate to your down payment fund, down payment savings. So yeah, I'll look into that paycheck allocation thing, because I do not remember seeing anything about that in the Ramsey certification training, or the book The Total Money Makeover, or in Financial Peace University class, of which I've led twice. So, but the saving for an apartment, you don't really need to do that, like I said, except for the deposit, maybe an additional deposit for pets, or because you have no rental or bill paying history, they may require a little extra larger deposit. But you don't need to really save in advance for that. Which low-cost broker? Available bread, fruit, 3. Probably the last one, unless the next one looks very interesting. On baby step 4, that means your debt is all paid off, and that means you have 3 to 6 months of your personal expenses in a fully funded emergency fund. And now he's on step 4, or she, and that's investing 15% of household income in retirement, and that is net income. That is, a lot of people get confused about that. That is after taxes, but not the amount on the check, because the amount on the check will be less if you have, say, retirement coming out of that already. If you have insurance coming out of it, or any other kind of expenses like that other than taxes. Let's see. Going to start a Roth IRA from our retirement fund. I've heard Fidelity, Schwab, Vanguard, all recommended. I have Fidelity. I've seen like the user screens from Schwab and Vanguard, and they don't look quite as good, at least for the way my mind thinks, as far as the outlay. I'm sure for some people it'd be fine. I'm sure it has all the same information. I'm sure they have all about the same business practices, where the pros and cons of each doesn't make much difference. I don't think it does. It's just Fidelity seemed to be the which I did check all that out, like the user interface of the web page, before I started investing. And so even if you don't open an account, you can, sometimes they have screenshots on there, or you can just do a Google image search for Schwab and Vanguard and Fidelity investing, and it will possibly show you basically what it looks like. But yeah, they're all the same, pretty much. There's somebody that likes Schwab right there. All right, that one was too easy. Let's see. Own single family home in California. Does anyone in this subreddit own a house in California with very high prices and steeply rising interest rates recently? Maybe not in the subreddit, but some people do own it there. I wonder what the question is for those people. How do they do it? They probably made a buttload of money, or they have over the recommended amount of mortgage payment based on their income. Let's see, 2021, that counts, right? That's not the same person? Nope. Bought a place between a single family home in a shite region, excuse me, sleepy time, I guess, and a small condo in a super nice region. We chose the latter. Oh, okay. Yeah, the small condo in a super nice area instead of the single family home in a giant region. So I guess I could have bought a single family home in California, Orange County. Wife bought before we met, paid off recently, though we still have some consumer debt. You're doing it wrong. House is worth more than it should be, in my opinion. It doesn't matter what you think it should be. It only matters what somebody will pay for it. Bought SoCal condo, 405K last fall. Yikes! Probably not wisest decision, but oh well. All right. Bought in 2018 at 5%, 415K home. Bay Area payment was $25.37. Refied in 2020 for 3% at $2,337. Payments, I guess, payments per month. Not yet. Working towards it. We have a combined income of $250K and are still priced out. Yep, indeed. So the OP mines was part of Cali. There's only one Cali, Columbia. Northern. Okay. All right. So, I mean, I'm guessing the person wanted to know how much they make or how they afforded it. And yeah, it's and also California doesn't get you a pass on math or a pass on the Ramsey baby steps. It's still the same order and same advice for no matter where you live, and if it's in a high cost of living area or a low cost of living area. All right, let's do one more. Why not? Alrighty, currently in baby step 2 in living family. I assume that means living with family. 40 hour, I guess, full time, 9 to 5 in my field. Working 9 to 5. What a way to make a living. You kids probably don't know that song. And a 35 to 39 hour part-time job from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. That's some working, dude. Plus part-time school. You busy. My body hurts, but I hate where I live. My family is not the cleanest, and the house is infested with mice. Yikes! when would Dave suggest moving out if you have a toxic and dirty environment? I mean, do you mean toxic like because it has mice in it? Or because there's a problem with you and your family? I've seen some listings for roommates at my local international food store and would still be working my butt off meal prepping in this house. You're not there. You're never there except you're there for like 4 hours, like maybe between 6 and 9, 5:30 to 9:30, like 4 hours you're there at the house. Maybe if we, and probably some of that's on the weekends, so maybe a little bit more than 4 hours, but you're hardly there for one thing. But if you are an adult, and you must be to be able to work that much, Dave does like you to live on your own. Meal prepping in this house is hard because there's no sense of actual cleanliness when I cook, right? I have to wipe down every single thing when I clean any room. But mine, it's an all-day affair. Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that either. My family is also financially abusive, so anytime I sit on a broken chair or throw something away, they ask for money. I'm so depressed right now, and I just feel like I'm in an unhealthy and unproductive environment. Yeah, get out of there. Get out of there. That was easy. Of course, you gotta, probably pay more money for that. You are making a lot of money, supposedly. Oh, I got a new subscriber. Cool. Cool. Have you guys paying off car loans from Peace of Mind? Get it? I wonder if it's like a crypto miner or something like that. Or if they just spelled it wrong. That could happen. It happens. How have you guys gone about paying off car loans? They both equate to quite a lot of money. 2, then, I guess. Wow. How have you guys gone about paying car loans? You don't buy anything else ever, as hell. They both equate to quite a lot of money and will take a few years to pay off at best, regardless. Not necessarily. The way you're asking about it, I don't think you know how to do it. I'm just trying to make a plan on whether to put the money towards them monthly. Yes, what else are you going to do? Quarterly, save it all? No, you pay less interest the quicker you pay it off. Save it all in lump sum once it's done. No. People always think that they're about doing that for some reason. I don't know why. No, you pay it off as soon as possible. Look, advice on everyone's personal experience. I have roughly a year's expenses in savings that I don't want to touch. Well, you're doing it wrong then. You can follow Dave's plan, or you can follow Peace of Mind in 1290's plan. I'm union and need a decent savings during negotiations. Oh, that's right, because when they're on strike. But if one of those isn't forthcoming, like in the next year, you don't need it. I put 15% of my income towards retirement through my 401k, and you shouldn't be doing that either if you have a car payment. That's baby step 2. Let me refer you to baby steps. He's doing this, step 4, and he should just be baby step 2. So you take all the savings he has here, and you keep $1,000 of it, and you put all the rest of it towards this debt here. And then when you get done with the debt, hopefully the cars are all the debt he has. Then you finish up that emergency fund, 3 to 6 months, and then you begin investing again. Okay, one more. I like this too much. Which is why I became a certified financial coach anyway. Foxy Lady 315. Worth it to take promotion I don't want for a $4 raise? Well, let's see. $4 times 40. That's excuse me. That's $160 a week, and that is nothing to sneeze at. or yawn at, I guess. Is it worth it to take a promotion I don't want for $4 an hour range? $16.20 plus I'll now be eligible. I'll then be eligible, not now because you haven't taken it yet, for a benefits package because I'll be lower level management. Well, if you get the $4 hour raise plus you get benefits, meaning cheaper or free insurance or stuff like that. So you got to include all that in there. So that's more than a $4 an hour raise. That could be as much as maybe a $10 an hour raise. So you got to think about that. If it's something really bad that you don't want to do and that you think would stress you out or anything like that, would cause lower mental health, or like you just don't want to do it, even that is, there's a price and you get to decide what that is. 2 weeks paid vacation, see, high premium health insurance I don't need since I already have it, but if it's cheaper through them, then you would cancel yours and get theirs. Any 401k, which I also have one, which is well funded. Do you have one from a previous employer? How do you already have one? No employer match on the 401k. Employer is cheap. Okay. Promotion is from head server, to front of house supervisor and catering assistant. Okay. Yeah. And so sometimes you don't want that much responsibility. You don't want to have to tell other people what to do all the time. That's not for some people. Just like being a landlord is not for some people. Any job is not for some people. It just depends on the person. I really don't want the position. It requires a lot of overtime. Yep. And that, my friend, is how they get you. Are you still paid by hourly? If you're still paid by hourly, the overtime could be great, including one 14-hour shift per week. Woo! 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. That's not fun. Our entire open hour. And it's a supervisor position, a lot of people management involved, which I'm not good at. Yeah. A lot of my junior coworkers in the 18 to 24 age range, and I don't get along well with that age group. Those freaking, what are those? Gen Z, right? Or is that even lower than Gen Z? And I don't get. It also involves a lot of new industrial level cooking skills I'm not really interested in because I would have to help in the kitchen if needed, which servers don't have to do. It also requires a lot of holidays working at catering events when the restaurant itself would be closed. But my direct supervisor and our site management both want me to take it, as do most of my coworkers, as they like me better than either of the other two people who are being considered. I also know from my supervisor that the overtime isn't ever really worth it, okay, because she says she works so much overtime that all the time and a half pay kicked her into a higher tax bracket, so her net take-home pay didn't even go up. That's going to be false. That's a lie. That would be a lie. Because we have a little thing called I forget the name of it. It's a staggered tax rate here. Maybe this is not in the United States, but if it's in the United States, you only pay the higher taxes for the amount over that kicked you into the higher tax bracket. You don't pay that tax bracket number on all your income from $1, just on what puts you in the higher tax bracket. So that, my dear, is false. And probably somebody told her that. I'm just looking to see if it is. 52 years old. Yeah, you don't want to be having to deal with freaking Gen Z people, probably. Yeah, that's not how it works. Yeah, this is wrong. She's not making more money. Not all of your income is taxed in the same bracket, so there's never any downside to making more money, right? That's not how it works. She's probably withholding incorrectly. You should be seeing an additional $300 a week. Exactly. Let's see what she says about that. Well, I know it incorrectly for me, and I need to fix it. Yeah. was working part-time until September, and we were laid off part of September, right, which is why they were only holding out that low amount. I don't know, because home business lost money, close home business, if you don't foresee that making money. I don't know what her situation other than she, yeah, no idea. She has withholding set up. That's also something people say. People just say stuff. They also say you keep the house mortgage for the tax deduction, but you are paying a lot of money to get a small percentage of that money forgiven on your taxes. So you're paying more money to get that tax deduction, which doesn't make sense. All right, I'm yawning too much. I guess I'll. Let's just check the other one. Next one. 2 free smart conference passes. Cool, cool, cool. April 14th, April 15th. Yeah, we already did that. Okay. So, once again, baby steps in order. That's how you do them. Works for everybody. There's nothing that changes any of these steps, except if you have some kind of emergency, you pause them. What was I gonna do here? Oh, I posted this earlier. Thinking about doing trailer reactions, and so to test out the format and stuff, I just decided to do more of analysis of my favorite 2 trailers, which are the Rise of Skywalker teaser trailer, which is over 2 minutes long for a teaser trailer, and the final trailer as well. So I did that, and that's about 20 some minutes, I think, altogether, because I talk about other stuff as well. But let's see, what do I want here?
Hello everybody, video here for you today. This is the no cap.
No, I didn't need to do that because I have it right here. I forgot, I already had it open. Just my plugs. Once again, I'm Coach Steve Money. I'm a Ramsey Solutions Certified Financial Coach. And you can schedule a free financial consultation with me, assessment with me, if you are having money problems, or if you just want to make sure you're on the right track. Take advantage of the free financial coaching consultation, no strings attached. Calendly.com/Coach Steve Money is where you can schedule that. You can email me about coaching or anything on my YouTube channel. If you have any questions about any of that or any of the Ramsey stuff, if there's something you don't understand, I can answer one question from you through email. I got that kind of time. Channel donations can go to paypal.me/Coach Steve Money. Thanks to everybody that has done that and has subscribed, liked videos, and commented. All of that helps the old algorithm there. So maybe one day I might be able to make a buck off of this YouTube channel. So far, not, but I do enjoy it. Add me on the gram at Coach Steve Money. And of course, the YouTube channel is youtube.com/Coach Steve Money. All right, everybody have a wonderful morning, or whatever your relevant day part is.